it today happen. Now my people, what's up? It's your girl Skinny Buck, and I'm back at it again. I'm not back at it again. I don't know why I say that. But yeah, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. You know, it's nothing special, but we catch some vibes. It's always good times on this side. If you're already subscribed, thank you. I appreciate it. It means the most. You already know. And yeah, as you read by the title, this video is going to be about me. Because a lot of people in the comments assume that I'm white. And you know what? It's never good to assume in life about anything in general. Like, assumptions about people, about situations is just wrong. It's unhealthy, and it's not good for anybody, especially yourself. So where was I going with this? Yeah, I would like to explain to you what I am. That sounds so weird. Like, what I am. And to America, I'm something else. No, but for real. So I was born in Canada. I was born and mostly raised. I have a lot of family in America, and throughout my whole childhood I went back and forth a lot as I was growing up. So I have a lot of memories, mostly in Michigan. But yeah, I majority went to school, you know, was raised in Canada. Boring. No, but yeah, so my ethnicity is indigenous or aboriginal or native or Indian, but I guess Indian has become offensive now, and I guess that's why we have so many names. You know, I like to go by native. I mean, I was raised to believe that I was an Indian, little Indian girl, but apparently that was originally, that word is originally from Middle East, the Middle Eastern Indians. So I just consider myself native, but, or indigenous. Aboriginal, I mean, anyone is cool with me as long as you don't call me white. Calling a native person white, or comparing them to white people, or even categorizing them with white people is very offensive. It's very disrespectful and ignorant, and it's happened a lot in my life, and I had to always correct people, like, I'm not white. I am not white. Anyways, yeah, I'm not white. So yeah, my people were the first people in Canada until the white people came over and took over. They didn't even take over. They just completely, like, I don't even know how to put it. It wasn't just like a nice little takeover, like, let's just move in with these native people and join forces together. Like, no, they said, these people don't know who they're dealing with, so let's just try to take them all out and get rid of them because we don't need them. Well, they couldn't do that because there's just too many of us. And so we're like, okay. So the white people got together and like, listen, we got to figure out a way to coexist with these people. We don't like them. We don't care about them. We don't want nothing to do with them. But how are we going to coexist with them? You know what? They should coexist with us. They need to be more like us. They need to think like us, act like us, look like us, and adapt to our perspective of society. That's what the white people did. So they're like, you know what? The children are the future. So let's just take all the children and put them in the schools and make them like us. Because the adults will be too much work. They're already set in their ways. So it's like the children, they're very naive. They don't know what's going on in the world. So let's just take them, manipulate them, and force them to be like us. And they didn't do that in a nice way. It was a law. It was a law in Canada that they had to take all the Native children away. They had to take all the Native children away and put them in schools to get a good education. That's what they told the Native parents and their families. They would get a good education, but to get that good education, they had to suffer. And what I mean by suffer, they had to endure physical, sexual, emotional, mental abuse. Severe, not even just like a little, no. The Native children couldn't speak their language. They couldn't dress in their Native clothing. They couldn't have their Native name. I think that's mostly what it is. But they didn't know how to speak English. So every time these children couldn't speak English, when a teacher asked a question, they would be beaten because they couldn't speak English. So they didn't know what the teacher was saying. And they would be starved. They were given diseases. A lot of them would be isolated. Just completely disgusting. There's documentaries, there's movies about this. You just Google residential schools in Canada and all this awful things will come up. So they tried to do that. They were successful, but there were survivors. A lot of children didn't survive. They were survivors though, and it was difficult because of their experience. Some of them committed suicide because they just couldn't handle it. Some of them used alcohol and drugs to cope with their traumas, and then they would pass it down to their children. And that's what you call intergenerational trauma, because all these, I can't even talk, all these issues are passed down. So yeah, so it still affects Indigenous people to this day, regardless if people personally experience it or not. It still affects people in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, so that's the people that I come from. Those are my ancestors, and you know, I'm very proud to be who I am. It's very similar to the African culture, which is interesting because we have our tribes too. You know how Nigeria has Igbo and Yoruba and Hausa, and you know, I know I'm missing a couple more. I think, you know, if there's more tribes, could you tell me please, because I would really like to know. But those are the ones that I'm most familiar with. My people has the Seneca tribe. Some people call them tribes and some people call them nations. You know, the Seneca nation, there's Cayuga, there's 6. And okay, let me just start from the beginning. I am Iroquois descent, and that is categorized into different nations. And there's 6 nations, and there's Cayuga, Onondaga, Tuscarora, Seneca, Mohawk, Oneida. And you know, I'm Seneca, and you're supposed to follow whatever your mother is. So if your mother's Seneca, you're gonna be Seneca, and that's just how it goes. So yeah, I'm not white. I get it a lot though, but you know, I feel like there should be more educated people on Indigenous people, because there's Indigenous people all across the world. It's not just in Canada or North America. They're like all across the world, in New Zealand and Australia and like everywhere. Like everywhere there's Indigenous people. So I would really appreciate it if the people that thought I was white would educate themselves and know that I am not white, I'm Native. I'll tell you a few other small facts about me. I used to play lacrosse. If you don't know what lacrosse is, I'll put up some images or videos to show you. Lacrosse is a very physical sport, and there's 2 different versions. There's box lacrosse and then there's field lacrosse. Box lacrosse is played inside an arena, and field lacrosse is played outside on, like, it could be like a football field or a soccer field. Not a soccer field, that's too big. I think like a football field. I think. I played field lacrosse 1 year. I didn't like it because I couldn't hit anybody. And it's very different for women and men too. So I'm not going to break it all down. If you really want to know, just Google. But yeah, I played field lacrosse 1 year and it wasn't my vibe. It just, you know, I like contact, you know. I like hitting people, I guess. But yeah, I played box lacrosse, which is an all women's league, so only females were playing, and I played that for like five or 6 years. I played that. Yeah, I played that for 5 or 6 years. And my last year I was captain. Actually, I'll show you the picture. It's really fun. This is me. Ew, so gross. Yeah, this is me. 2011 was my last year. You can see I was captain. Yeah, and I played for the Hamilton Bengals because, you know, Hamilton was my second home. So shout out to all my Hamilton people, you know, y'all are blessed. But yeah, Hamilton was my second home. I played defense. I was very good at defense and offense. I was an overall good player. I actually met my best friend playing lacrosse. My best friend, Chrissy. Shout out to Chrissy, that's my girl. She lives in Edmonton, Canada, which is like out west. That's my ride or die. That's my best friend. That's the godmother of my child. And yeah, I used to model for a couple years. Well, not a couple years, but on and off. I used to model for like five years or so. The first couple of years were like, I was really involved and really doing a lot. Not doing a lot, but like, you know, I was in music videos, photo shoots, fashion runway shows, and that's basically it. It wasn't for any major artists. It was mostly for like local rappers and artists and local designers and stuff like that. So, but it was still cool. It was a good experience, but it just wasn't my vibe. You know, I like doing the video shoots because those were cool. Those were a lot of fun. But yeah, I like photo shoots, but not a whole lot. It just wasn't my vibe. I don't know, it got to a point where I just seen a lot in the industry and I'm just like, this is not something I want to be a part of. It's too fake for me, and I can't deal with that, you know. Seen a lot. I've seen too much. But yeah, it was cool. Met a lot of good people. What else about me? Oh, I'll talk about my tattoos. I have 3 tattoos. There's 2 right there, and it says, and it says Seneca Nation, you know, because I'm proud of who I am and I represent for my people wherever I go, whatever I do. So yeah, that's why I stay classy. And then I have another tattoo on my arm. It says R.I.P. Lefty. Lefty was my best friend, and yeah, he passed away 10 years ago, and it was a turning point for me in my life, and it was scary. But that's for another story. I mean, another video. That's for another video. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you're already subscribed, thank you. I appreciate it. It means the most. Thank you for all your likes, your comments, your suggestions, your opinions, your feedback, periods. I hope everything's good on your side, whatever time it is that you're watching this video. I hope everything's blessed. And yeah, I hope you stay safe and stay blessed.